Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, Stitch and Books. My name is Jill, my pronouns are she, her, and I am a 30-something professional nanny living in Southern California, and this is my channel where I talk about cross stitch and the books that I listen to while stitching. I just want to give a very big thank you so much to everybody out there who is watching right now, who has watched in the past, who stumbled upon me. I greatly appreciate every single watch, comment, subscriber, like, all the things. It means a lot to me that you guys take the time out and watch these videos because I love this community so much. So I just want to say thank you because I greatly appreciate everything. Let's get into it. We do not have a lot of stitching to do. There's always a lot of stitching to do. I don't have a lot of stitching to talk about today because I've been hyper focusing on just a couple little projects. So fingers crossed this ends up being a shorter video. I know I prefer shorter videos because the longer the video, the more overwhelmed I can be as a viewer and as the person editing and putting this video out there. So short and sweet, we'll get into it now. No, we won't. Before we get into the stitching, I do want to give a couple shout outs and talk about some Flosstubers that I have been watching lately. So first up, we have the Bougie Stitchers, and this is a new to me channel, Nancy and Jenny. And let me just say, the devil works hard, the algorithm works harder. I have been just recently looking into purchasing some fabric from Cedar River Linen and Designs, and I swear after I did that first initial Google search, YouTube suggested the Bougie Stitchers, and they stitch a lot on Cedar River Linen. So that was kind of like a what is it, the Truman Show where everybody's watching, right? Where they knew what I was Googling, so they decided to push forward their most recent video. But that video was extremely entertaining, so shout out to them. I love that video that you guys have out there. Going through my watch history on YouTube, I also want to mention Stitchin' with Michaela. She just put out a recent video, I think like yesterday, but where she kind of went through all of her kits and what she has in stash and what she wants to stitch coming up, especially for the 12 and 12 New Year's challenge. So that was kind of fun to go through. She does have a Christmas stocking that she's thinking about, and she was also thinking about one of the Kooler Design Studio heirloom stockings, which if you've seen the thumbnail for this photo, you know that I'm going to be talking about that. She's also doing a box and fox pattern, the same one that I will be showing here soon, the abstract flowers one. So that's so cool to see someone have that pattern that you're stitching on too. Another one is Julie in Stitches 16. I just watched her most recent video. Love all the stuff she works on, but most importantly, that stood out to me. I didn't know that work basket was like such a thing, like the designer and the company work basket. I picked up one of their charts. I'll put in a photo here of their bugs, insects that I got off of a D-stash group. I just don't know why, but it called to me and I got it. Haven't stitched it yet, but see her, I think that's one of her favorite designers, and she has a lot of charts from work basket. So that was kind of fun to see other charts and designs from that company. Next we have Jen from Jen's Fiber Web. She put out a Flosstube extra about her October startathon and kind of doing like a May mania, but in October, and starting something new every day in October. And that was really fun to go through all of her like spooky projects and kind of see what she's thinking about. So highly recommend that video. Next we have Shay, the Salty Stitcher. She just put out a recent video this morning, but I want to give her like the map sal, the she did a Flosstube extra where she talked about kitting up for this upcoming huge project that she's doing. And that was a lot of fun. I like the excitement of like new projects, and she is a Sal stitcher, so she always has like some stitch alongs that she is doing. So it's always fun to see the progress on those. So give that video a watch. And then finally, one more mention is Wendy from A Stitch in the Matrix. Her video is so much fun to watch. So her most recent video, I think it's only Flosstube 3, so she's a relatively new Flosstuber, but it's a fun ride when you watch her video. So definitely go give a look at the maybe new to you Flosstube channels, or those specific videos that I mentioned, because they are all great. And super excited that the algorithm pushed forward the bougie stitchers again, because it was new to me. So I think I heard about them, but they just never came up on my YouTube suggested watch list. So excited to kind of subscribe and go through the journey of all of their stitching adventures. Okay, now we can get into the stitching. Just wanted to get that out of the way. First off, so you guys can get a nice good list of people to go watch. First up, the whip that you see on my thumbnail. This is my Gardener's Delight Heirloom Stocking by Kooler Design Studio. I'm stitching this for my mom, and I just realized that like I'm gonna have to put in, like I thought I was like sitting pretty with where I'm at now, but I'm gonna have to put in a lot more progress, because when we're in Italy, I cannot stitch this for her because she doesn't know what I'm doing. But anyways, without further ado, here is my progress. So I finished this second page. So this was page 1 to like here. Well, this isn't page 1. This is the first page that I did was to here, and this is the second page that I did was to here. I think I have like 1 or 2 lines down there. But yeah, look at it. So these are the 2 biggest like stitch dense pages. The next stitch dense page is going to be right here in the toe. But again, it's only maybe like a third, 2/3 of like what one of these pages were. But this is like the bottom of the stocking right here. I think there's only like maybe like 5-10 more rows right there. So I just need to finish up this page, and then this might be the last one, because I think once I finish this, I'm gonna start back up here and go down. But look at this. I absolutely love it. Look at the back stitching on all of the watering can. I am leaving the French knots to the end, but yeah, I could look at this all day. I know I said that in my last video, but seriously, I am loving the way this is going through. So Michaela, you definitely need to do one of the Kooler Design Studio stockings, because they are so much fun to stitch. Yeah, so this is it. This is being stitched on 25 count Mushroom Lugana, which is the called for. It's being stitched up all in DMC. It is 3/2, which is my least favorite. It's great full coverage, but I'm just not super happy with my stitches 75% of the time. I don't know. I just feel like sometimes with the 3 strands, it just gets a bit too wonky in places, and that could just be because I'm still like a novice stitcher. I've only been stitching for a couple of years, so I'm still fairly new, but yeah. There it is. It's so wonderful. So I kind of have to like ramp up speed on this, because I thought I would be fine. But it's the end of August and September's coming up, and then I can't work on this for the 2 weeks that I'm in Italy, because I'll be with my mom and I don't want her to see this, and I want this finished by Halloween, so I have a couple weeks to get it done and fully finished and either send it off to her, or if she's coming down for Thanksgiving, I have no clue. We haven't figured out holiday plans yet, just because I don't know. We have to figure out holiday plans with the grandbabies, so who knows what's gonna happen. next project that I have for you, it's not gonna look like there's a lot of progress, but this is my Raccoon by Cottage Garden Samplings. I am stitching this on the called for 40 count Veldt Linen. I am using the weeks. There's only 2 weeks and the rest is DMC, but here, nope, here she is. So this is my lovely, lovely Raccoon. Look at her. She's so adorable. So the only thing that I really did is I finished this color of the tail and then brought that color up over here. But you might be asking, oh, this looks different. What's different about it? I used my serger and I serged the edges of this fabric. Again, this is the 40 count Veldt Linen by Picture This Plus, but I serged it because this was one that kept fraying the most. So I pulled that out today and I decided to serge. Not a lot of progress on this. I still love this. It's just not a focus. I pulled it out for Stitch the Summer Olympics and put a decent amount. I want to say like 2 hours in to do that. It's 1 strand over 2, which I'm not. I like the way 1 strand looks, but I just don't know if it's my preferred. I think I can't get over the loop method. I know that there is a 1-stranded loop method out there. I just think it takes, I think I've seen the video and I've tried it. It just takes longer for me to do it as opposed to just weaving the tails. So I do it, but I prefer loop starting, so 2 strands, but this is so cute. So this is that. So yeah, brought this out for Stitch the Summer Olympics. There were 2 projects that I'm not going to show you in this video that I worked on, only because I barely worked on them. I just did it to put a couple stitches in to say that I stitched on that project for Stitch the Summer Olympics. And that is my Peacock by Cottage Garden Samplings. I think I was so exhausted that night that I couldn't do more than just like 10-15 minutes. So not a lot of progress. Not a lot of progress from where you last saw it. And then my Hagrid's hat from the last, I think I showcased it in my last video, and it just, again, it was one of those nights where I was like, I am just doing this so I can complete it, because that was such a fun challenge. I absolutely loved doing Stitch the Summer Olympics, and I'm looking forward to 2 years for the Winter Olympics, and then spoiler, probably in 4 years when it's the LA Olympics, I won't be stitching that much because I'm gonna, fingers crossed, try to sign up to be on like a volunteer or like work list, or just try to get tickets to go to as many events as possible, because I do think volleyball, beach volleyball, is going to be right here at the beach, and so that's walking distance for me. But anyway, so that's what the 2 projects you won't see in this video. Not enough progress. I do want to work on them, but my attention has been elsewhere, and that's okay. Who knows what's going to happen once we get into October. Who knows? Don't know. I probably will bring out Hagrid's hat a lot in the fall. Okay, the next project, again, not a lot of stitching time on it, but enough for me to kind of share with you now. It is my Abstract Flowers by Box and Fox. This is the one that Stitching with Michaela, she got it too, and so she will be hopefully stitching it. But so this is what I have. I'm stitching this on 28 count oyster linen from my random linen supplier off of Etsy. So it's a non-cross stitch linen, but it comes out to be 28 count, and I have the link down there below. Is my favorite linen. The link down below if you are interested in getting it and trying it out. But I basically worked on filling in this flower. That's kind of about it. I don't know how much progress has been from last video to this video about it, but it's just not a focus right now, and that's okay. I bring it out if because it's always in a project bag that's just like sitting in my purse for the most part. So if I forget something, or if I forget to bring my bigger project, this is kind of always with me when I go to work. Yeah, so this is abstract flowers. I don't have much else to say because I didn't work on it very much, but it is all DMC, 2/2, 28 count. That's about it. I do like it. Didn't serge these edges because they are just so beyond repair and I have such tight margins. And I don't know what I'm gonna do with finishing. That seems like a future Jill problem, not a current Jill problem. So that was abstract flowers. Nothing really else to say about that project. So let's get into the final 2 WIPs that I have, which are the ones I'm super excited about and the ones that are my biggest focus piece. And yeah, kind of been more of a monogamous stitcher between these 2 projects. So the first one up is by Italian Lemons. I showcased this last Flosstube, and so this is Italian Lemons by Kooler Design Studio. I got it as a full kit. The floss is super crunchy, do not recommend, but I do know on Kooler Design Studio's website you can get the PDF of this pattern and kit it up yourself. Oh, I should actually see that and see if they have a floss list if I ever feel like stitching this again. Maybe I'll buy that pattern just so I can have that floss list, because these are kit flosses. They can't be DMC, and it doesn't say on the package, but they are just so crunchy and not fun to work with. They just feel brittle, like not fragile, but just brittle in a way of like, if I really pull it out of the floss drop, it's just going to snap. I think actually one has before. Can't remember, but anyways, enough about that. Let's see the actual stitching. We have a lemon. Look at that. So all of the we'll bring this up here. So all of the back stitching for all of this white is done, except for down here, but seems like a future gel problem. But I really wanted to move in, so I did. And we have a lemon, a leaf, and a flower. It's just so magnificent. I absolutely love this piece. And with my trip coming up, this just needs to be, I'm just gonna move it around your screen. This just needs to be a focus. It's so much fun to actually stitch. I do enjoy the pattern. I do enjoy like stitching it and seeing it come to life. It's so much fun. I will say, I have decided to rip this out. So what I did is I started in the middle and kind of waved my way up to get to this upper corner. But when I was doing some of this like fill in and these details after I had done some of the brown border, I realized I was off by a stitch. And I think I mentioned in a previous video, I was just gonna leave it and see if I wanted to fudge it. And I had a hard look at it and at the pattern, and basically I was just 1 stitch off. As you can see here, there's only 2 squares of space in between like what's inside and the white border. It was the same on the other side. And I didn't want to just like shuffle everything over because there would only be 1 square on the other side over here. And there were just too many color changes, too many like in this lemon, this yellow here, you actually can see it better online. This yellow and this yellow right here, 2 different yellows. You can't see it that much of a difference in person, but you can kind of see it on camera. But like that sort of stuff, there were just too many different like details. If it was maybe more block stitching, I think I could maybe have fudged it, but there's just so many different colors that are used in this piece that I just don't feel confident in my stitching abilities to fudge it. So I'm just ripping it out as I go. I have to rip this out still. But yeah, I've started like putting in the blue just so I can kind of like do that as fill in. I don't really know what my thought process was. I think I wanted to see the details more. But yeah, I think it's so much fun. So this will be a extreme focus once I finish with my portion on my next project. But this, Oh, this is a 32 count, excuse me. It's a 32 count vintage Sahara Belfast linen from Zwiegart. It is printed, you can see still that it has some kind of like distressing variation, but on the other side, it's printed. Believe me, it's very subtle. Whoop, but it's there. So yeah, very tight margins, I know, but I'll frame it myself. But this will be the only project, I might regret that now, it will be the only project I take to Italy. I think I'm going to have time to film right before I leave, so we can check on progress of this and see if I change my mind on bringing anything to Italy with me. But I think I have a long ways to go. This is not gonna get done by the wedding, but it's fine because I don't even know if they want it. So this will be a good, like, do they want it? If they see me stitching on it, will they like it? I can offer it. And if not, then it just is gonna come back with me and be a nice remembrance piece of this entire trip. The final whip that I've been working on has been my Carolyn Manning round robin that I am doing with Jen from Jen's Fiber Web, Rebecca from Beck Stitches Everything, and Jamie from Jamie Cruz here on YouTube and Instagram. Everybody will be linked down below, but we are doing a Carolyn Manning round robin with the bouquet collection specifically. So we all are picking different bouquets and gonna pass that around. So mine is Peachy Keen, again, Carolyn Manning bouquet collection. And I am so close. So I'm stitching this on a mystery linen from Crazy Hamster. And I think you can buy her stuff on, I know on a couple Facebook D-stash groups, she sells her fabrics. I also think on Etsy you can buy it. But this I got off of a D-stash, not from her, but off of someone else from a D-stash group. It was unnamed, but it is by the same designer. Oh, wow, first time I'm seeing this in the camera. This fabric is kind of hard to, I think that's a more accurate representation of the color of the fabric. 32 count linen. Yeah, it's a really pretty linen. It's really soft. I'm actually really loving working on this. So I would buy more of the Crazy Hamster linen. I did serge these two edges because I cut it off of a bigger piece that I have, but it didn't need serging. Like, it was not fraying at all. Might be the way that I cut it, because I decided to pull out a thread and cut along that. Learned that from Lala D Stitches, Laura from Lala D Stitches, where that's how the only way she cuts her fabric is she takes out one of the linen threads, so she knows where to cut. But look at this. So with the exception of filling in these little places with this darker blue right there, the inside, oh, and I think I have like orange to go, like the orange that's there has to mirror right there. So with the exception of those 4 spots, the inside is done, and now I'm working on the border. I have this pattern, as you will see in the corner, it's a bit of a chunkier border. Jen shared a picture of her progress on the project she's working on in our group chat on Instagram, and she's a tiny little border. Mine's a chunky border. Like, this is gonna be the middle, so that mine's like a chunky border here. I have my little needles. I am loving tangent. I'm loving these pony black needles. I bought them to try them out because I was kind of getting sick and tired of seeing my tarnished needles, and I needed some new ones, and I am loving the pony black. So if you're in the market for some new needles, highly recommend the pony black. The eye isn't as big as I would like it, but anyways, details. Stitching this 2/2, 32 count linen, all DMC, which has been really fun to kit up and see. For being Peachy Keen, there's a lot of green in it, but first, it's gonna look so cool. Like, you'll see the project in the corner. But yeah, I'm so excited to see and have other people stitch on the project and kind of, this is my back, but I am excited to see other people, just how they stitch. I do not care what my back will look like if you're a messy stitcher. I think that's all part of the process, and the fun of doing a round robin is like you just have someone else stitch on your project. And so I'm thinking my pattern kind of lends itself to, I might put my initials here and either ask others to put their initials in when they stitch it, or maybe when I get them back. Yeah, no, when they stitch it, so I know what quadrant they're working on. But so that way I have initials of all the people that worked on this project. So this is also, in addition to the lemons, this is a big piece that I'm focusing on because I only have a week left. We are doing like a September 1st deadline for to finish this and send it off, because I told him, I was like, hey guys, like I'll be out of the country for a bit. So that was kind of like the consensus, is like, okay, let's get these done and mailed off. I don't know how long we will give ourselves to complete each quadrant. But yeah, I'm hoping the border will stitch up pretty fast. It's just a repeating pattern except for in the corner and goes down. So I'm hoping it'll stitch up pretty fast. So that way I can give myself a week to do that and get it all sent out. I do want to make a new project bag for this to go in, for it to travel around, and all that. So those are all the works in progress whips that I have for this episode. No finishes, no new starts. I don't anticipate any new starts coming up, but that depends on when some haul gets in my mailbox. So we'll talk about that when it gets here, if it gets here. I'm buying some fabric and it's not like ready now, I don't think. I don't know. We'll see. I placed the order, but it hasn't changed status from order placed. My first time doing that. I've always ever just done D-Stash or 1-2-3 Stitch or Etsy, and those are pretty quick. So let's do haul. Yeah, let's do haul. It's actually not a lot of haul, but I think the majority of this stuff came in, I think probably like a day or two after I last filmed, so it's been a while that I've had this, but I do have some stuff to share in my handy haul bag. Part of this haul purchase was highly influenced by Lindsay from Wolfie Stitches. She stitches a lot of her projects on like these fun pastel linens, especially pink linen. I think she's like having a moment with pink linen, but she has a couple other projects on like green. Just she finds these gorgeous colors and matches her projects to them, and like you wouldn't think. I think she's doing like some sort of like landscape on a pink fabric, but it's just, it looks so classy and looks so lovely. So go check out Lindsay from Wolfie Stitches. She has some fun things. So I got a lot of fabric. It was these 3 fabrics. I primarily was drawn to this one. This one drew me in, but then I saw the pink and I was like, oh, I'll be like Lindsay and I will stitch on this one. And then I've never stitched on an opalescent, but this is an opalescent. So it was advertised as a lot of 3 linens, and you can definitely tell this is definitely a Zwiegart linen, unnamed. They're all unnamed though, so that's the only thing. I think they were all 28 count, but I'm gonna have to count that up. But I have this. It's a very gorgeous, wonderful color. There is like a red spot on it. I'm not too particular about that, but this is such a gorgeous, this one is linen for sure, 100%. I'm convinced this is even weave because I do not see any slubs. I guess maybe some, but it just looks too even for me to be a linen. But yeah, so this is a pink even weave. I do think this is 28 count. And then the opalescent blue. no clue who this is by. Again, unnamed, but generous like portion. I think like all three of these were like $20. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, so it sparkles, sparkly, sparkly. Don't know what I'm gonna stitch on them, but like I said, I was highly influenced by Lindsay for the pink, but I really wanted this lot for this linen. I think this one's gorgeous. Can't wait to figure out what I want to stitch on that. So there was the fabric haul that I got. And then next I got this piece. It is a full kit. So it has everything needed, the DMC, and I think it's rustic Ada. I liked it because those look like the most unordinary fish for a Pisces, for like a astrology chart. Like you see very fanciful fish when it comes to Pisces and very ornate, and they want to make it mystical and everything. These just look like trout, like not even rainbow trout. They just look like fish that you could just pull up out of the river. I definitely grew up on a river, so wasn't the best fisher, but these just look like very ordinary, mundane fish. I am a Pisces, so this just felt like a fun, quirky kit. I've never heard of celestial stitches before, and when I did a Google search, like it doesn't, not a lot of information comes up, so it sat in my head rent-free for like a couple days, and then I was like, okay, I'll get it when I couldn't find any information on it. But yeah, so I got this kit. And then the final bit of like cross stitch specific haul that I got is this other kit. Creative Accents Lighthouse Point. Again, like in my last video, I'm having a moment with lighthouses and I am not mad about it. I think this is so gorgeous. And what does it come with? It comes with white Ada, but all the floss. So I'll most likely be switching that out. It also came opened, which I don't mind. I checked, everything's in there for this kit, but there was also like a Jesus chart in there. I don't know if that was intentional from the seller or they just didn't know. It is a Dimensions gold. Is it gold? Where'd it go? Where'd you go? It is a Dimensions Charts and Charms. So it's a Dimensions Charts and Charms. It is just the paper. And it was just wedged in there. Yeah, it's a nativity scene. Oh Night Divine. That's what it is. 8535. Oh Night Divine. That is the name of this chart. That was just kind of in there. So if you want this, leave me a comment and just put Divine in it. I guess a non-official giveaway. It's just, this is just gonna sit and not get used at all by me. So I guess I have a giveaway. If you want this chart, look up a picture. Maybe I found a picture and have it up here for you, but it's Oh Night Divine, Dimensions Charts and Charms. It's just the chart. It looks untouched. Must be over 18. Don't put all the trigger words, like giveaway, free, all that fun stuff. So yeah, if you want to use the word divine, and I will be more than happy to send this to you wherever you are. It's just not going to be anything that I would care to have in stash. So yeah, do that if you want it. It has an anchor and a DMC conversion on here for you. So I don't know if that was like on purpose that the seller put it in with this, but I did check that the chart for this one is in here. So it was exactly what I wanted. Those are the only cross stitch related haul that I have. The next I will go into a couple they're cross stitch adjacent, but not specifically cross stitch haul. I will put this timestamp for plans. If I did not already talk about plans, my only plans are going to be lemons and my round robin, my Peachy Keen. Those are the only plans that I have, and whatever comes in the mail. But if I need to talk about it more in depth, that will be time-stamped. The rest will be books and some bookish haul and some cross stitch adjacent haul, but it's not actual cross stitch. So if you want to bow out, cool, no harm, no foul. See you next time, or see you never, up to you. You do you. You're on your own journey, and that is very much yours to have, not to be influenced by anybody else. But thank you for being here this far. Okay, the next bit. If you're new here, or you didn't hear me mention it before, I stitch in hand. That's is just easier for my hands. Like holding a hoop and trying to balance that, it stressed my hands out. So I stitch in hand. However, the way I stitch is I roll up the part that's not being stitched on and kind of hold it in my non-stitching hand, and I point and stab. Well, I even found that to kind of be somewhat stressful. So what I found at home have been these hair clips, right? For when you're doing your hairstyling and everything. And I have just had them. Thank you to me for not getting rid of things in a timely manner, because I probably would have like done this on a buy nothing group, gifted them away, done something, because I just don't use it for its intended purpose. But I found them to be extremely useful when stitching in hand, because I just roll it up. I will demonstrate for you. So let's just take this project, right? Peachy Keen. So I will just roll it up and just kind of like clip it there. And I usually like to clip one down here too, and then it keeps it all together when stitching, and it works out. However, I have a lot more projects that I'm working on. The lemons, and I kind of leave it in there as I'm working on it, so I don't have to continually roll it up. So I needed more. Long story short, I needed more. So I bought this bag off Amazon. It comes in different sizes. We have medium, large, and donde más pequeño, tiny. So these little ones, and I think this will work for all of my all projects that I have. I know these little ones would be great for like the raccoon. Just put it in there, and it helps bundle up that fabric for my projects and the way that I stitch. So that was my cross stitch adjacent part one. Part two is I'm in the process. I showed in one of my last videos my Mr. Bone Jangles haul that I have, and it is something that I'm going to be kitting up for my mom. So I figured she needs like a fun project bag to go with it. So I got some fabric. I went to a local quilt shop and I found this fabric, and then I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it. This fabric is just white with white skulls, but that's gonna be the inside lining fabric. So as you know, I have none of the bags with me. I like to have just zipper topped. I didn't make this one. I like to just have zipper top little trinket bags as my project bags. So I decided to I'll make my mom one that's specific for the Mr. Bone Jangles pattern by Glendon Place. And I kind of went in knowing I would want like a spooky fabric, and these are all tombstones. I just think it's so cute, with the little skeleton on it, tombstones. And then the inside fabric, like I showed before, skulls. subtle, but it'll be good for her to see where her stuff is in the bag. So yeah, I will be making a little project bag. It will probably be about this size anyways. A little project bag for her. There's enough fabric. I can make one for myself as well. But yeah, so that, I didn't have time to make the project bag before I filmed, but I'm most likely gonna do that after I film, because it's gonna be, I already have my serger out, so not that that matters. I need my sewing machine out to do this, but they're really quick and easy to sew up for me. So that is what I bought, and that's, I just, when I saw this inside fabric, or this like fabric, I was like, perfect. Because at first I thought I wanted like a spider web. They didn't have that at my quilt shop. They just had the skulls, which I think is even more appropriate for the pattern. But my mom is also a huge Halloween person. Halloween and Christmas are her two things, but I figured I will start here and get this for her. So that is all the cross stitch haul, and the next bit for this video we will be talking about books, because I did finish a couple of books. If you want to stay for that, you're more than welcome. If you don't, peace out, and we will catch up another time. Thank you so much. Okay, I actually did a thing. We're gonna do this now because I'm super excited about it. I actually did a thing this week. When was it? It was this week. No, yes, no, yes, no. It was this week. I actually went out and braved traffic to go to the Grove, which, if you don't know, is this big outdoor shopping mall. It's famous in LA because it's where CBS Studios is, and like The Price is Right and is filmed. And it's this huge shopping center with fountains and big parking garages. It's a fun place to go visit when you're in LA, but it is just a bit away. But one of my favorite authors, Megan Quinn, she is a rom-com, spicy romance novelist. I absolutely love her books. I've read just about every single one of them. But she was releasing her new book, Bridesmaid Undercover. I was doing a book signing and I bought a ticket and I went, and it was so much fun. So I got this book and she was able to sign it, and I was able to meet her and in line, but I have not read this one yet. I love the way books smell, but I normally read all of hers on Kindle, but I didn't know, like, these books come with some not safe for work images. Actually, I don't know if these ones are not safe for work, but these ones come with illustrations. I did not know that was a thing. And in my Kindles, I don't see the illustrations at all. Most of them, I don't do romance a lot on audiobook, especially Megan Quinn, but I did hear her, the audiobook version of this. She talked about the narrators and that they're actually supposed to be pretty good. So I might do like a tandem read where I have the audiobook and I read this physical book. But it's a chunkin' book. But I read her first one. So this is book 2 in this series, Bridesmaid for Hire. I read the first one and I loved it. And so this one, I'm really looking forward to reading this one. Highly recommend Megan Quinn if you are a spicy romance reader. Love her books. So that's not really a book review, but I do have a book. I actually finished some audiobooks recently. I've been in a book slump. I've just been not into it. I don't know. I really don't have a reason for it, but I finished some books. So the first one up is Funny Story by Emily Henry. Very popular book. It was newly released, I think, at the beginning of this summer. And it was also for Stitch in Pages book club by Katie the Novel Stitcher. I unfortunately was not able to attend that book meeting, so I didn't read it in time for that, but I did just finish it. I recommend, I like just about every book that I read. And so this is like a standard 3 for me. It wasn't like over the top amazing. I do enjoy Emily Henry's books, but I don't think I've ever rated them above a 3, maybe 3.5 out of 5. 5s are like massive, like you duped me in a sense of like, I didn't see something coming. 4 is like, I have like strong emotional attachment to you. And 3 is like my standard. So this is a good book, funny story. So the premise is the main characters, they get broken up with. So the female main character, I'm so bad with remembering names. She gets dumped, her fiance dumps her for the male main character's girlfriend, where they were friends. So they basically get dumped at the same time. And the female, she has to move out of her house that she was sharing with her fiance. And the guy, he has a spare room because his girlfriend just moved out to live in her house. So it's like a roommates to lovers and fake dating tropes all at the same time. It's really cute. I love the whole premise. I love the personalities. She's a children's librarian, which I absolutely love that. So you talk about her like summer reading program and like getting the books put together. And in high school, I volunteered with my local library for their summer reading program. And obviously I've always taken my nanny kids to the libraries for summer reading programs or any time of the year for like the toddler time and stuff. So that was really fun to read about, and just kind of like the it went from roommates to friends to lovers, kind of like fake dating, the whole aspect of it. So I enjoyed it. It was a fun book. So recommend that. And then the next one I have is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. And I think this is book 3, and I know I read Yours Truly. I can't remember if I read Part of Your World. But again, rom-com, there's some spicy scenes. Funny story, had some spicy scenes too. Books, really good, 3 out of 5, would recommend. So that one, they're traveling nurses. Abby Jimenez, I think in this series, they all are in the healthcare field. And so that's a lot of fun to read about, but traveling nurses, kind of like a, am I the asshole kind of Reddit thread, like that's the premise of it. But what was the base story? She's the traveling nurse, that's what it is. They both have like this curse where whoever they date, once they break up, their ex finds their next forever, like their husband or wife, and they both have the curse. So that's what they bonded over and said, basically the premise of the book is, let's just for the summer try dating and do like this like trial, and we can break the curse together so we can both find our happily ever afters. And then spoiler alert, they fall for each other. There's some stuff that happens in between. I read a review where some people thought that like this book fell a bit flat, like the side characters had more like emotional depth than like the actual main characters. I think everybody reads and connects with what they connect with at a different time. But again, this is a solid like 3 out of 5 like rom-com. I enjoyed it. Did it blow me away? No, but it's enjoyable, and I recommend it for anybody who's in the market for a wonderful rom-com. It's set in Minnesota. I'm really bad with states. I think it's Minnesota or Wisconsin. One of those two, and I'm very sorry to offend anybody from those states. Geography is not my best set. There's a lot of lakes. Isn't Minnesota the state that have a lot of lakes? I think. I know Wisconsin is the cheese state. Anyways, I digress. So those are 2 books that I finished. I finished them both while stitching on Peachy Keen. And so it was fun to kind of like look at that piece and have those memories associated with it. That's why I like to read, because I can pick up a piece and I know exactly kind of what book I was reading at that time and the memories of the story, and it's a fun memory thing for me. Recommend the narrators. They were great. What book had dual narration? I think either both of them or just for the summer. I think it was Just for the Summer that had dual narration that I liked. And those were the books that I read recently. Quick life update at the end. Things have calmed down. I know in my last video I was kind of like really on the brink of burnout, and summer is hectic, but it has calmed down, and school has started. The public school system and the private schools now are kicking up, and school is starting, and it's my favorite time of year. I just have one more week this upcoming week. This is the last week of summer for one of my kids. And so they're generally easier to do one-on-one. The other one their sibling has started school. So but it works out because the one who's starting school this week, they got out of school earlier in the spring. So their summers are the same. Just one had the extra week at the beginning of summer. One has the extra week at the end of summer. So school has started. That is so much fun for me. I like the routine. I like having plans and routines and all that for work. For my personal life, it's a whole mess of chaos. But for work, I like routine schedules and like knowing what to expect. It just makes everything everything flows. The kids know what the deal is. They kind of know that we're off screen time and more onto our extracurriculars and making sure homework's all done. So I enjoy it. Summer's coming to an end. I'm just, as much as I've been watching like Flosstube, I'm also watching a lot of travel vlogs for Italy. I've been to all these places before, for the most part. Never been to Naples, but I've been to Rome and the Amalfi Coast before, so I know what to expect, but I always feel like there's always room to learn more, just like cross stitch. That's why I watch Cross Stitch the Globes tutorials, because like Flosstube University, because I always feel like there's something to learn, and I am not an expert stitcher by any means. So those are good videos to watch. But so I've been watching a lot of travel vlogs for Italy, getting all the things ordered that I need to get ordered for traveling. I have a new suitcase coming in because I have a large checked bag, but I want just a slightly smaller checked bag. And I'm fine checking a bag. I actually prefer to check a bag. My mom is approaching 70 rapidly, and even though she's very fit and able and like she doesn't look 70 at all, we're not hoofing it. Like there will be taxis, there will be hired cars, we will be taking trains, but like we're not going to be like dragging our luggage throughout Europe. Like there will be transportation that we will be coordinating, so it's not, a checked bag is not the end of the world. And the places we're staying at, the hotels have elevators. Like it's a checked bag is not the end of the world. But yeah, that's kind of it. That's the only life update that I've been doing. Still haven't been going to my stitchy group. I've just been working every weekend, and it's hard for me to make the drive up when I know that I have to turn around early and go to work and fight traffic. I don't like doing that. And then next weekend I will be visiting my brother and sister-in-law and the two babes, my nephew and my niece. So then I won't be able to go to Stitchy Group then because I'll be down there with them, but that will be so worth it. Although they recruited me to work. I offer my services to them. We kind of call myself Nanty when it comes to like me being auntie, but like with my nanny hat on. So Nanty is being called down for service on a weekend that I just wanted to go hang out, but it's fine. It's really fun. Other exciting news. I'm kind of like almost to a full set of DMC, and I'm doing it slowly because I don't really feel like I have a need to have a full set of the 500 DMC. It was just one day, I think, because I like have these projects that I want to do and then I just get them up, and some of them I forget to do. Like right now I know I have a test stitch that I need to do, but I have like 74% of a full DMC. I'm only 120 skeins shy of having a full DMC. So that means I have like 380, right? Yeah, I have 380 skeins of DMC. That's mind-blowing. So I've been using some Michael's Cash, like the vouchers, the reward vouchers, and taking advantage of sales when they have them. So I can slowly get a full set of DMC. Yeah, I don't really have much else to talk about. Life's been very calm and like slowing down, which I'm very happy about. I just do know that like we have 1 week of summer left, getting everything prepped for Italy, just going about my business, focusing on my round robin and my lemons, and that's like it. In the process of kitting up Mr. Bow and Jangles, I need to find the fabric for that. I think I found one and I put it on Instagram about the fabric, but then when I went to order it from 123 Stitch, I found out that like there were other like product photos of that same fabric that looked way more blue. And I'm just reluctant. To buy a fabric that might turn out more blue when I want it more red and purple and less blue. I don't know. It's been hard to find fabric for that, but I'm determined because I need to get it kitted up and everything set for my mom so she can have it while we are stitching. I'm also trying to find it in Ada because she's an Ada stitcher and she wants to try linen, but I don't think flying on an airplane is the right time to learn to stitch on linen, even if it's 28 count linen. So I need to find her like some fun Ada, hand-dyed Ada. She's only ever stitched on white Ada or like kit Ada or even weave. But so that's the plans that I have right now, and that's my life. I so appreciate you sticking around for this video. Like I said earlier, thank you to everyone who has ever interacted with my videos, even if it's just for a watch. I just figured out how to link up my phone and my TV because I always watch YouTube on my TV, and so it was always hard for me to comment, but I just finally like figured out how to link my phone and my TV so that way I can watch. It was especially when like the Thread Gremlins or Megan the Seattle Stitcher were doing live videos, so that way I can like have them up on my TV and then like comment on my phone for those lives. So I figured it out. So look out, world. Now when I'm watching YouTube, I will hopefully be commenting more because I'm usually a silent watcher, just because that's the way that I do my YouTube, is on the TV, but I figured it out. So I appreciate you, even if you just watch it, even if it's just for 5 minutes. So any way that you have reacted or interacted with these videos or on Instagram, just know I truly appreciate you. I'm so happy that to be a part of this community again, and so happy you watched this video. I hope it was enjoyable for you. It wasn't a lot, but hey, that just means it's a shorter video, which I'm always happy about. So thank you so much. Stay awesome, be awesome, do kind things, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.